Nakumi, where are we now?
Still westbound on Carson Street here. We just passed through Lakewood. We're just on the north side of the Long Beach Airport. Next intersection up ahead, I'm trying to look and see there's a red light up ahead. There's got a little bit of traffic that's in the intersection there. So we're going to see, you can see him starting to hit the brakes there to slow down because at least two of the lanes are blocked up with some traffic there. The light's still red, so people making a left turn in this next intersection up here. And other cars still trying to get out of the way here. So they did slow down just a little bit. Now he's starting to pick up speed again.
Yeah, he smoked his tires there, slamming on his brakes.
Yeah, unbelievable with that last maneuver.
Yeah.
So, Kevin, one of the pursuits we had this week, we had a suspect kind of going in the same area, like a family neighborhood over and over and over. Are you seeing any kind of sign here that this suspect is going in a neighborhood that's familiar to him?
It's hard to say at this point. We did come all the way on that 91 freeway westbound. Actually, now we're taking a northbound turn here on Cherry, and that's going to put us headed back towards the 91 freeway up to the north. It seems like we've been going in circles here a little bit around the North Long Beach area, back and forth between Compton. But it's hard to tell at this point because it has turned around at least 3 or 4 times. So we're not sure. It's hard to say whether or not he's circling this area because he knows it, or if he's keeping it going.
He's not going back to Corona right now, and that's where this all started, correct?
Yeah, in the Corona area, a Corona officer did make a stop on the vehicle, and like I said, the information that they are giving us at this point is that some kind of weapon violation occurred during that stop, and then the pursuit started. We're northbound on Cherry. We're just coming up, just passing through Del Amo there, and we're going to be up to the 91 freeway probably in about another minute and a half here. So we'll see if he gets back on. Trying to look up the window here. It looks like I can't tell if that's Long Beach PD that might be setting up holding the intersection up there, or if they've actually deployed a spike strip. I think looks like Long Beach PD is just holding that intersection down as it passes. There wasn't a spike strip deployed down there, and they didn't make any notification to the CHP officers that a spike strip was being set up either.
And what street is he on?
We're still northbound on Cherry.
On Cherry.
We'll be coming up to the 91 freeway, probably about another mile and a half.
Now, if he goes true to form when he sees that 91 freeway, he's going to get back on it.
Well, he's passed under it a couple of times and had to make his way back around to get on that 91, and he seems very familiar with that freeway. And he was on the 605, which got him to this area, and he's heading quickly up to the 91 at this point.
And CHP is making some requests to some mutual agencies here to see, because you see those officers from Long Beach PD that were kind of blocking intersections there, trying to keep the general public out of this. But they're also asking them now if they have any officers that have spike strips to see if they can deploy those in front of this.
That'd be great. Well, Jim, let me ask you about the coordination when it comes to the different agencies. It started with Corona PD. He went through several different cities. You have CHP here as well, and now we're talking about Long Beach PD. So they all work together on this.
Well, they're all in communication. They're all talking, but the CHP, when they take over a pursuit, they run the entire pursuit. That's one of their policies. They don't hand it back and forth. They don't allow other agencies.
Getting on the freeway.
He's back on the 91 freeway going, what, eastbound?
Eastbound 91 freeway from Cherry there. They had an opportunity to try to pit him, and he got jammed in. Oh, he hit the right side there of the car and you know what? It looks like the right front tire might have he did hit that K-rail there.
The truck boxed him in, Kevin. The truck
he
actually boxed him in.
He was trying to get her. Yeah, he was trying to get around that truck there, but got pinched in by the K-rail, and he's trying to swerve around a little bit. It does look like it looked like a little bit that some sparks were flying from that right front tire. So not sure if he might have punctured the tire at that point and it went down. But now it's hard to tell. But it looks like he's turned off his headlights as well here.
Well, he was trying to pass that semi truck on the right, and the semi truck, I know they listen to everything. So I'm sure he was watching and listening to see if he could see this guy come up on him. And when he came up on him, he actually the truck turned into the car. And the guy that's being pursued slammed on his brakes, and the back of the truck hit the car, and he tried to get around him, but not without making contact.
And if that did disable his vehicle a little bit, that right tire, it's going to wear very quickly at that rate of speed. very quickly.
Jim, if his lights are off indeed, what do you make of that?
They may have been shattered in that impact because he impacted the right side of that K rail, and that may have just may have actually caused them to be broken. But of course, they're not seeing any rear tail lights either, so maybe it was a conscious effort where he did turn it off. Because we don't see any tail lights on the car either.
What's the speed now?
We're still back up to 100 miles an hour. So if that tire has gone down, then he's really riding the edge there, because it's easy. It's going to be really easy for him to lose control at these speeds. Still tracking, and they're still calling 90 to 100 miles an hour here. Eastbound on the 91 freeway here. We're going to start coming up onto the. We're going to be coming up to the 605 again.
Well,
just past the Bellflower.
I'm betting, Jim, that little minor accident there rattled the driver just for a second. Does that help out the officers there?
Certainly. I think a little dose of reality, you might call it, that he realized that after about an hour of this that he is vulnerable and he's now made a mistake. And this is something that certainly he wasn't planning on. But I don't think it really did any damage to that tire, because his speed is pretty good, and seems like he's got good control of the car.
Yeah. I'm thinking
it's
maybe
starting to back down on the speeds now. We're coming down to about 60, 55 miles
Look at the back of the car. It looks like the back tire is coming apart there. You see
it looks like it looks like he does have his rear lights on. So that impact may have just caused those lights to be.
All right, they're going to come up, and they've been given the green light to pit this, so they're going to see if the car is actually starting to really slow down here, but they're backing off on that pit because the car started slowing down on its own. So we'll see if this comes to a complete stop here, but speeds down to, we're coming about 20 miles an hour here, and we are just over by the 605.
Well, not much traffic on the freeway, but still, for those drivers, they're going to be backed up for a minute here.
This is going to be where we're going to find out whether he's going to give up or
take off again.
Take off.
Oh, he's waving his hands out the window. So
he's got his hands out the window there.
Now, typically, they're going to be giving him orders, again, very clear orders, followed by the command, do it now. They're going to want to make sure he gets out of that car very slowly and complies with their directions. It looks like he is. Textbook felony stop right here. He's going to have him step away from the vehicle and then pull his coat up, because they are considering the possibility of a weapon. They're going to want to have him lay down and probably do a prone approach on this guy, again, being very careful of there might be somebody else in that car, but also this guy's behavior. He seems like he's very, very compliant. This is good. This is what officers want to see. They want to see that they have a compliant suspect at a time like this.
Why wouldn't they ask him to take his jacket off at this point?
Well, that sometimes just complicates things. If they can pull it up and see he's got nothing in his waistband, they're opting now to have him walk back. This is usually done if there's a possibility that they think there might be another person in that car. They don't want to have him out on the ground where they have to go out and approach him, but it's actually want to have him come back.
Do they ask him if there's anybody else in the car?
Not really at that point. Once they get him back now, they'll start asking him if there's anyone else in the car. Is there anybody in the back of the car? There's certainly that preliminary interrogation going on right now. But you can see the officers are very vigilant. They're watching this car, and they're going to approach it right now very, very cautiously, because they're also going to be checking the trunk. Some of these cars, you can access the trunk from the rear seat, and suspects can actually get into that trunk and try to hide. So they're very, very careful when they approach these cars. But again, keeping with the statistics, if you will, 30% of these pursuits, they just stop and give up. This is another example.
So you don't think it was due to damage to the car necessarily, or maybe a combo?
It sure didn't look like it. It looked like he was rolling along pretty good, but perhaps that accident just rattled him enough that he thought, this is it, this is the end, and he's going to give up. But as you can see, absolutely no resistance at the end.
Yeah, I'm thinking when you had that accident there, maybe, like you said, it jolted him to think, wait a minute, what am I doing here?
Yeah, because, the first hour he's having a lot of fun driving really fast, but all of a sudden he gets pinched in there and realizes that, his life could come to an end, and maybe that was what it took.
Well, they're going to push that car out of the way and let traffic pass, and then they'll investigate this and put away this guy. It started in Corona at about 10 o'clock, and it's now 11:33, so an hour and a half of this chase at about 110, 120 miles an hour, and he is under custody.
We thank you, Jim Holcomb, Kevin DeCoumi, and Sky Fox. That's going to wrap up our coverage here of this long and high-speed pursuit. This was a big one tonight.
What a week, huh?
Thank you so much. 4 pursuits.
Unbelievable.
Thank you so much for being with us.